Okay. And great, thanks for joining us this morning. Today we have Jon DeNunzio, and he runs Squarely Digital, a marketing agency based in Alexandria, Virginia. Squarely Digital helps small and medium-sized businesses and nonprofits succeed online through digital marketing, specializing in high-quality content. Jon founded Squarely Digital in 2013 after more than 20 years in journalism, including 17 at the Washington Post. He was a sports editor for most of that time and moved from the print side to digital in 2007. Eventually, he took a newsroom-wide role working on how readers engaged with the Post's website, preparing him for his current work in digital marketing. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jon.
Right, thanks, Erin, and thanks everyone for having me today. I'm excited to be here. I'm going to share my screen. I have a little presentation. Oh, forgot to launch it. Oh, hold on. Share, then launch. All right. So today's presentation is my digital content marketing 101 presentation. Becoming your customer's trusted choice is what I call it. I'm Jon DeNunzio. As Erin said, I run Squarely Digital based here in Alexandria. And the text I have here is stuff that Erin already said, that I've done this for almost 8 years, et cetera, et cetera. But it probably makes sense to you all that a journalist might move from journalism into a field that emphasizes content, and specifically high quality content. But to be honest, when I started this company, I knew I enjoyed working online and I was comfortable with technology and writing, but the word marketing didn't really sit very well. Marketing carries a lot of negative connotations, especially for someone in journalism. But what I've discovered over time is there's some sorts of marketing that I'm really comfortable advocating for. For instance, search ads that you see on Google, that's one. You know those, you type in a search term in Google, it brings up, there's some ads at the top of the page. The people who click on that generally, they want the product they just searched for. So it's pretty honest and helpful service. I'm very comfortable with search ads. I'm also really comfortable with content marketing, which we'll talk about today. Why? Because it's an honest, helpful way to introduce your products and services to people who need them and assist them in making a smart decision. And you know what? It works. So there are two parts of this presentation. Part one, I'll define content marketing. As a business person, you know what marketing is, and you know marketing is important. You need it to bring in new customers. But as a consumer, you also know how people and how you feel about things like TV commercials and pop-up ads on your favorite website. They're annoying, they interrupt what you're doing, and even worse, a lot of the time, you don't trust the claims that the advertiser's making. But what if I told you there's a type of online marketing that people actually seek out, and when they find it and read it, or they watch or listen to it, it actually makes them trust the company more? That's content marketing. And I've pulled the definition that I really like from a website called the Content Marketing Institute. They do a lot of good work if you look them up, a lot of good instructional stuff. Content marketing is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience, and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. So that's a mouthful. It's a really good definition, but it's a mouthful. So let's break it down a little bit with some of these keywords that I think are really important in the definition. This definition says content marketing is strategic, obviously it means every piece is planned and created as part of a plan with a goal in mind. If you're thinking, oh, I should just blog about such and such for my business because my competitor did, that's not strategic, right? You need to be strategic about it. Valuable. By valuable, they mean valuable content for your prospective customer. It provides value. It's something they actually want, not something that annoys them or interrupts them. Relevant. It's relevant content to their situation, their problems, their aspirations, their goals. And it's targeted, which the internet can do a lot better than, say, the TV or radio. Consistent. Content marketing, when done well, is consistent in that it's produced on a regular basis. content marketing is not effective as a one and done solution or effort. When they say content marketing is designed for a clearly defined audience, as we'll go into later, you'll see it's really important that you decide who you're speaking to with every piece you do, and you know exactly who you're trying to reach and what you'd like them to do next. And then finally, I highlighted the word profitable. I don't think you need me to explain why that's important. Okay, so thanks to this definition of content marketing, we're clear on the general principle behind it. But if we want to get more specific, I'd say there are two more important characteristics of digital or online content marketing. One, it leads prospects through the buyer's journey, that metaphorical trip that we all take when we go from thinking about a problem we might have to actually buying or purchasing, subscribing to a solution, to actually making that decision and putting down your credit card. And two, the content is more focused on your prospects' problems rather than your solutions. It can't be me, my company, my company, my company. It has to be about them. The types of content marketing you generally see online include blog posts, videos, podcasts, case studies, infographics, all sorts of things. Sometimes people will ask me, is social media content marketing? Or they'll hear that I do content marketing and say, do you do social media? I would say social media can be content marketing because it can accomplish some of the goals that we're going to be talking about today. But it also serves as something that you use to engage your audience and distribute your content. So it's a little different. I'm not really going to talk about social media today. It's in a somewhat separate category. They're related, but not exactly the same bucket. And by the way, I never said this at the beginning, but obviously, if there are questions, please stop me at any point. Someone yell at me if I've missed a hand up or whatever, etc. I'll continue with this definition. Only a couple more slides on the definition. We'll get into the meat of how you do it. If you put everything that I've talked about so far together, the benefits of content marketing are, one, it pulls customers in. Instead of you pushing it in front of their faces, they come to you. If you're a lawnmower repair service, for instance, you gain business by converting people who Google how to fix my lawnmower, and they end up at your website and they say, oh, this person knows what they're talking about, and they end up working with you. It builds a relationship between you and your prospect before any money's exchanged. If your blog post about lawnmower repair is really helpful and credible, the people who read it start to trust you. And that's what it's all about. It's about trust. And trust lays that solid foundation for future transactions. There are a few additional benefits to content marketing as well. For one, it demonstrates your expertise. A prospect might think, if this company knows how to fix jammed lawnmower blades so well, I'll bet they also know about riding mowers or how to bag the cuttings. It builds your brand. Even the people who don't buy from you start to know you, and they might refer others to you. It narrows your audience. This is an important function of content marketing. Your content should make clear who you help and what problems you fix, so the people you can't help move on instead of wasting time with an inquiry, right? It's called a funnel, a sales funnel for a reason, right? It gets smaller as you go down, and the people who you don't really want to sell to, they kind of drop out. And at the end, you're talking directly to the people you want to sell. Finally, content marketing has search engine optimization or SEO benefits. SEO is the art of showing up more prominently in searches on Google and Bing and other places, mostly Google, of course, but SEO used to involve a lot of technical changes to a website. But now what really matters is, do people consume and link to your content, and do they find it valuable? If so, Google notices, and it will start to surface more and more of your content in searches. So before I go on to part 2, are there any questions so far? No?
No.
Hearing none.
No questions.
Oh, we
Sorry,
have
Aaron?
John.
There is one? Is it in chat? Is that why I don't see it? No, I didn't hear you guys. You say there's no question?
I don't see any in the chat.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, let me move on to the next part then. Great. We're going to talk about how content marketing actually works. And I'm going to hit that button. There we go. So I'm going to share today my method for content marketing. I've kind of adapted it over time, what I've done for clients, what I've seen is effective for other businesses like mine, et cetera. To me, the key steps in content marketing are: one, identifying your target audience and their needs; two, planning for each stage of the buyer's journey, which I'll explain; writing copy that converts; performing a thorough self-edit; and then anticipating the next step. And I should say, throughout this presentation, I use the word write or writing as I talk about it. That comes from my journalism and my print journalism background especially. But this method applies if you're doing content that's video or audio or infographics. It's all the same. The principles are the same, that is. So before I start on a piece of content marketing, or before I get a client started down that path, I ask two questions. One, who is this for? And two, how ready are they to buy? So that's another reference to the buyer's journey, which we're going to get into. To define who it's for, I suggest my clients create customer personas. That's a detailed description of their ideal customer or customers. The questions on this slide are good ones to answer as you're trying to put together a customer persona. You know, you figure out who they are, where they are in their company, what their motivations are, et cetera, and you start to understand them better. And the better you understand them, the more you're able to create content that's going to engage them. And I really urge people at this stage to be very specific about their customer personas. Is your persona a bank manager? Is that who you're trying to sell to? Or are you trying to sell to an assistant manager at a community bank in the Midwest that's opened new branches recently? Obviously, the latter is more detailed. It's going to help you create better content that's directly crafted for them and their needs. So get more specific, it's going to help. Now that you've defined who you're appealing to in this equation, let's look at how close they are to buying. The classic way to look at this is called the buyer's journey, and it's typically divided into three stages: awareness, consideration, and decision. When a prospect's in the awareness stage, they're aware they have a problem, but they're not sure exactly what it is. Your content helps them identify their problem and really kind of figure it out, right? In the consideration stage, they're considering different solutions to that problem. Your content helps them evaluate those solutions. And in the decision stage, your content addresses those people who've decided, okay, your solution might be a good fit, and it helps them decide to buy. That's where you're selling your own services, really. So here's an example. For instance, if you take a business or a homeowner who's found a puddle peeking out from the underside of their dishwasher. In the awareness stage, they're thinking, where's this leak coming from? You know, and your content is going to help them figure it out and figure out why a dishwasher might leak, or what, you know, what problems create this, et cetera. They're starting to figure it out, and they're starting to realize there are different solutions out there for it. Then in the consideration stage, they're starting to think, how am I going to get this fixed? And your content's going to help them zero in on the problem. Or I'm sorry, zero in on the best type of solution. And then in the decision stage, they've identified a few solutions, maybe a few companies that provide specific solutions, and your content helps them see exactly what you do to fix it and why you're the best for them. So in a good content marketing plan, you start creating content for each of the personas we talked about that you've created earlier in each stage. Think of it like a matrix, like this. You know, so for persona one, I want to think of several ideas that I can create content that fits in an awareness stage, a few ideas for consideration stage, a few ideas for decision stage. The big question with those empty rectangles on the previous slide, though, is what do I write? So I have some good news. There are certain types of content that are perfect for each stage of the buyer's journey. Here in this slide, I have one example for each stage of the buyer's journey. I have a matrix that I put together recently that has several different examples in each stage, and I'll distribute that afterwards. I'll send it out by email to people. I think it could be helpful. But as you can see, as an example, in the awareness stage, one type of headline to a blog post or a piece that would work really well is 5 reasons you're experiencing this symptom, right? Such as 5 reasons there's water under your dishwasher. That's classic awareness stage content. Consideration stage, a really good type of content is comparisons. This solution versus that solution. For instance, if you ran a coffee shop, you know, that sells equipment, you might write a post that's manual grinders versus electric grinders, which is best for you. And you're helping that potential buyer figure out what they're going to buy and which one's really going to work for them. And then in the decision stage, one of the best types of content is frequently asked questions, and not the kind, you know, we all, when we put together our website, we make that one FAQ page and it has all these different questions about you and your business that are general. I'm talking a really specific frequently asked question type post. For instance, if you're an HVAC company, 5 common questions people ask us about installing air conditioning units. That kind of stuff really helps. Move on to the next one. Once you've kind of planned this out and you decide I've got to write one of these pieces, you want to create engaging content, of course, something that really gets the reader's attention, gets them into it. And here's some keys to doing that. 1, choose the right voice. You probably want to speak the language of your customer. Is it business-like? Is it casual? Is it jargon heavy? Or is it something that's really easy to understand? Every business has, you know, a different kind of tone that works best for them, and you have to figure that out. You want to tell a story. Just because it's business content doesn't mean that it has to be dry and boring. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and some problem or tension is resolved through it. If you can create content like that, that's going to really be more effective, right? It's going to keep people interested and take them through it and make it more likely that they'll read your content and read more of it. Start strong. Your lead, as we call it in journalism, your first paragraph or so is really important. If you don't grab a reader's attention right then at the beginning, you're going to lose them. It's more and more the case on the internet. People, as you know, we all kind of are flicking from site to site or app to app. And so you've got to get their attention early. You know, the beginning of your piece is so crucial. And then finally, your headline. Believe it or not, the headline is almost as important as the rest of the article. Again, if you don't, it's what grabs people's attention. It's what signals to them, this is worth my time, worth reading. And also it signals a lot to Google. Google puts a lot of SEO value in the words in the headline. So headline's super important. Perhaps the most common question someone like me hears when I do a talk like this, especially if Joe Sperling is there, is how long should I make my piece? There's no set answer. In the news business, there's a saying that a great long story feels like it takes no time at all to read, and a really poorly written short story takes forever to read, and that's kind of true. I will say this though, online, shorter is usually better. As I just mentioned, people are multitasking, they're in a hurry, they have all kinds of choices, right? So they scan and skim. Not many people get all the way through a long blog post or video. So short and sweet is usually better. There's some cases for long stuff too, but you know, when it comes, if you're choosing or you're deciding, should I cut that out? Maybe I go too far, too much in depth in this part of it. Yeah, cut it out, make it shorter and make it to the point. Once you're finished writing that short and sweet content, you're not really done. A key principle of my approach to creating high quality content is reviewing your work to make it better. I suggest what I like to call a triple review. Review 1, you read through your piece or listen to it or watch it as if you were a reader, viewer, or listener. Try to step back and get out of your head and into the mind of the viewer or reader or listener. That's hard to do sometimes, but if you can do it, it will help. Maybe sometimes getting someone else to read it and review it with you will help too. Try to detach yourself, in other words, and think, how's this going to be perceived by someone else? Review 2, go through the piece again, but for grammar and style. And by style, I mean clear, concise writing. Are you using the right words? Are you using too many words? If you read a sentence out loud and run out of breath, well, then you're using too many words. So, you know, really be hard on yourself and try to cut it down and make sure every word is the right word. And then finally, review 3, examine the nuts and bolts of writing, things like spelling and punctuation. One trick that really works well for me is I read a piece backwards when I'm done with it, looking at each word individually, stopping on longer words, make sure they're spelled correctly. It takes me out of the context because you know how the piece goes, your mind fills in the blanks and you know, oh, this is coming next, this is coming next. But if you kind of go backwards through it, you take that context out of it and you're just concentrating on the nuts and bolts, like I said. Now, this stuff might sound nitpicky, but it's really important. Content that gets the details right is more trustworthy. And like I said, this is all about trust. Once you've completed this triple review, the final stage is anticipating and encouraging the reader's next step. What do you want them to do next? Maybe you want to get them to subscribe to your email newsletter or to receive more type of this content. Maybe you've written an awareness piece and you want them to move on and read the consideration stage piece next. Whatever you want them to do, you should tell them. We do that by using what's called a call to action. And what a call to action, of course, is something you see all over the internet, like that orange button on this page, or that sort of thing, a link at the bottom of your piece, a headline, etc., that urges readers to take the next step. You should also think about where you'll promote your piece. Simply publishing on your website and moving on to your next task doesn't guarantee a single person is going to ever see it. So make a distribution plan, stick to it, whether it's posting on social media, emailing your contacts and encouraging them to share it, using advertising to bring in readers. All of it can work, but you need to have a plan. If you'd like additional resources on content marketing, here's a few good ones I recommend. Digitalmarketer.com, HubSpot.com, Moz.com all have great material that is free that you can learn. Plenty about content marketing, both the kind of writing side of it and the SEO side of it, which is great. I really recommend Ann Handley's biweekly email for someone who's interested in content marketing and writing in general. She's a real expert, been doing this a long, long time, longer than me, and she values good writing in a way that makes me smile every time I read her emails. And finally, I offer a few free resources as well. On my website, there's a downloadable guide to creating content marketing that will walk you through each step. You can go there, squarelydigital.com/guide. And I also offer every so often a content marketing tune-up workshop. These are Zoom sessions where a handful of people come, they bring one piece of content that they've written for their business, and we workshop it together. We all talk about, okay, that's good, maybe you can improve on this, etc. So hopefully you leave with one piece that's a little better and will help market your business a little better. Those are free. The next one is March 3rd, which is next Wednesday, a week from today, 4 o'clock, and you're welcome to sign up at squarelydigital.com/tuneup. So, whoops, what did I do? Did I just stop squaring? I lost something here. You guys still see it? Oh, I see what happened.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh. Well, anyway, that's the end of the presentation with a really sloppy end, but that's it. Any questions? Be glad to talk about any element of this and any questions you have.
Meryl, yes. You're muted.
Okay. All right. So my question is, once you get your content to a stage where, you're happy with it, who do you go to and where do you go to take it to the next step?
Where do you go to take it to the next step?
Right.
How do you define the next step? What do you mean?
Well, I've written up a good piece.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and like I know a little bit about social media, but not a lot. I depend on Sabrina for a lot. Do I go to social media? Do I go to newspapers or
what dictates your choice is your customer.
Okay.
What dictates your choice is your customer personas. Where are they? Where do they hang out? Where are the people that you want to reach? Where are they? And then you've got to get it in front of them, right? If you have an audience is on LinkedIn, then maybe you go to LinkedIn and you post it on LinkedIn. If you have an audience that's watching YouTube videos, maybe you hire someone to run some YouTube ads or something like that and get it out there. There are all kinds of different ways to do it. The other thing that's worth noting is content marketing is a cumulative thing. And the more you do on the same topic, the more Google is going to notice. So the more content you have on money management, Meryl, that gives you more weight and the more people link to you. So every time you do it, you've got to push it out there. But that kind of cumulative effect eventually will help and people will find you by search as well. But that's not something that happens immediately. Does that help?
Yes, it does very much. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Laura?
Laura?
You have to unmute yourself.
Yep. Sorry.
you go.
First of all, thank you. Like that, I feel like that was just a core dump of information that I need to work with. But I had a question. Like, for example, I do a newsletter. But with that newsletter, I'm trying to reach different audiences. Does that make sense? Or am I trying to be too broad?
Without seeing it and knowing your audiences, my initial answer is you should probably, it could be a problem, would be my
Okay.
initial answer. Yeah, I'm very much an advocate of writing specific pieces for specific audiences with specific goals in mind. You know,
Okay.
your audience one, awareness, bam, etc. You
Okay.
know, in the end, the great thing about digital marketing is the results tell you something too. With an email newsletter, I assume you use a system where you can see how many people are opening it, how many people are clicking on the links, etc.
Yes.
That would inform my decision as well. And
Okay.
if you can segment that audience, you say, you know, that audience one that I'm trying to reach with this, they always click on the links, but audience two never does. That would tell you something, right?
Mhm. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Can I add to that real quick? Just because in my field, I work with a lot of different audiences as well. And like sometimes I'll try to group them. I work with financial planners and attorneys, but also senior care individuals. So sometimes the message I put out for the attorneys and financial planners are the same, but then I'll do something different. So you may be able, if you're working with a lot of different groups, just section out some of them where the message is appropriate for a couple of the groups. And
That's right. I mean, the big thing you're aiming for is that it makes sense to them. They see themselves and their problems in the content you're creating, and that they're not turned off by saying this isn't for me, right? Why are you bothering me with this? I don't care. So that's the big thing. And this reminds me of another point that I often make in this presentation, which is, you know, when you're writing content for the different buyer's journey stages, sometime you're not always going to be promotional. The early stages, you're not going to try to sell yourself because those people aren't ready for it. You have to know your audience and the stage they're in. You know, there's no point if they're just figuring out what they need to say, sign up for my free consultation now, you know, and so, you know, download my free demo, etc. Doesn't make sense early on. Later, it makes a lot of sense though.
Any other questions? Comments? No?
I have a question. I guess I have to ask as the accountant. So what's the range of the fee for your services? Are they staged, or how is your fee structure?
It really depends, right? I work with some clients where I'm helping them execute the whole thing or executing the whole thing for them. And so I'm doing strategy with them. I'm writing or working with a team of writers to get it written. And we're doing some of the other stuff outside of it, you know, to promote it. So that can be a more expensive engagement. I work with some clients where I'm more a strategy consultant. They're writing, they're using me as a sounding board, and someone to help them, you know, figure out what to do. But in the end, they're doing most of the heavy lifting. So it can really depend. Hard to say. That's the general answer. If
John,
you said to me, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, I would probably price it out for you and say, okay, this is the range, but we could work around it, you know?
John, do you have any sort of like regular hourly fee, or is your fee going to be based on an overall work product?
Overall work product, I would say, Joe. You know, writing for certain kinds of businesses is a lot harder than other ones. You know, it will take more research. It will take more time. I'll evaluate the challenge of, you know, how hard is your audience to reach? How much are we gonna have to do to make this work, et cetera. So it's really hard to say a rate, you know. It's dependent on that stuff. And I think, you know what I mean, right?
Do you specialize in any specific industry?
I don't, well, I should say this. I work with B2B for the most part, because businesses, well, let me back up even further. I work with businesses whose buyer's journey is longer. Content marketing works best if your ideal customers are the type who take a while to research and figure out what they're going to do. Maybe they have to run it up the flagpole at their office. Maybe it's just such a tough decision or an expensive decision that it's not something they're going to dive into. Content marketing doesn't work for Wrigley's chewing gum, right? When you want gum, you say, I want gum, and you buy it. But if it's a longer decision process, that's where content marketing works best. B2B businesses usually are the ones that are going to have that kind of buyer's journey. You know, again, it's, is there a lot of research that's done ahead of time? And, you know, how long, you know, how valuable of a purchase is it, right? The lifetime value of the customer has to be factored in there as well for content marketing. I would say, oh, I had it on the tip of my tongue. There was something else there. Well, if I think of it, I'll let you know. I can't, there was something else along those lines, but it just.
John, what's been your most interesting or most unusual client?
Ooh. Most interesting or unusual? That's a really good question.
Not to put you on the spot. But,
yeah, you know,
tell us a story.
The story I like to tell. Unfortunately, this client is in the travel industry, and so they're not, you know, the last year has been super tough for them. But my client, he put together school tours, you know, tours for school groups. And so it's that kind of thing where, like, if you're a teacher and you don't want to do all the legwork of arranging a tour yourself, you go, you know, he's your travel agent, right? He arranges that 3-day trip to Philadelphia or whatever that you're doing, planning for the 6th grade class. And a period that I really loved working for him, because he specialized in DC, he's based here in this area, specialized in DC. And so when the National Museum for African American History and Culture was opening up, we planned out a series of blog posts about it to be one of the first people to give people an expert view of what that museum was going to be like, and specifically all written from the teacher's point of view. Where should you take your students? If you have students who love sports, what should, you know, how do you keep them engaged at this place? Because there's a whole floor, you know, as you may know, devoted to sports, et cetera. So we wrote this series of blog posts about the museum and then turned them into a downloadable ebook. And to get the ebook, you had to just fill out a short form, said, are you a teacher? Do you run tours, et cetera? And so that started to produce leads for him regularly. And that's a classic kind of content marketing play with a downloadable piece of content for people who are more serious, and it allowed him to market to those people. I love working with the content as well. That museum, if you haven't been, is really cool. I'm looking forward to COVID being over and going back.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the end of COVID for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't. Okay, so we were going to move on to introductions. And Melissa, are you able to time?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah,
excellent.
We said 45 seconds, right?
Everyone will be given 45 seconds. So let's see. We are going to start with, in my right corner, Nora.
Me? You got me first?
Oh, I said Nora.
No, that's what I thought. Okay.
Nora. She's muted. She's still muted. You're muted,
I
Nora.
haven't started yet, to be fair.
Oh, okay, okay.
So did you call me?
I called you, yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone.
Sabrina, can you clarify, is this the 5 words or something that you guys suggested?
I don't think we need to do 5 words. I was thinking 5 words when we were like, I thought we were gonna have more people, but I think
But you
we're
do
okay.
have 30, you have 30 people. That's still a lot of people.
We could do 30 seconds instead.
Yeah, I
How's
think
that?
so.
30 seconds. Everyone has 30 seconds. Okay, Nora, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. It's good to be with you. I am an accountant by profession. I do accounting and tax services. I can set up your accounting records for you and also maintain them, do some training, and make you more self-reliant. I partner with QuickBooks and ADP for my solutions. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope?
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm Hope Joyce with Warman Home Care. We are warm and friendly. We've been in business for over 30 years. We're family owned and operated. We provide services in Maryland and Northern Virginia. We can do 2 hours through 24-hour care as well as live in. I did write my 5 words: warm and friendly, compassionate, committed, caring. Give me a call if you have any questions. I can be a resource as well for any of the home care needs. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Joe Sperling.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Joe Sperling. I'm an independent insurance broker, and I help you protect what's important in your lives. Protect your families with life insurance, protect your income with disability insurance, protect your assets with long-term care coverage, and protect your retirement with annuities. I'm your protectionist, but I'm not your average Joe.
Excellent. Marcia. Marcia, you're muted.
Okay,
There we go.
sorry about that. Hi, I'm Marcia Schwartz. I am an audiologist in Rockville. At the moment, I'm in transition. I'm no longer with the group that I sold my practice to. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but if anybody knows of any part-time jobs, I might be available to do that. I mean, I know how to run an office. I guess that's it.
Thank you. Patricia Dubroff.
Hi all, I was just writing to Marcia, but my 5 words are healthy choices for home care. I'm with Assisting Hands Home Care. We serve Bethesda and I was just going to say Chicago. I don't know why. Fairfax counties, Chicago on my mind. Hi, Mark. I see so many home care companies on this call. We should be our own little strategic partnership senior services company or something. I don't know. We're all doing a lot of great work. And what you should know about Assisting Hands is that we're sort of the little concierge group. We're not huge. We're very teeny tiny in some ways. And we'd love to talk to you about all sorts of home care things. And as all of you know, I'm running 4 educational programs, 3 of them specifically for my colleagues, Book Chat, What's Your Plan, and Death Cafe. And then we're also doing yoga for all of our colleagues free once a month on Monday with our lovely Marie Daly. And we're excited to be welcoming Pamela Mills onto our group, who's going to be helping us really hone in on our dementia care trainings. So we're just super proud and excited and honored to have her as part of our team. Take it away.
Michael, you're next.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to go into my background or history. I have a very unique name. If you're interested, Google my name. That'll stand unto itself. I'm a senior myself. I've been running a senior group in Buffalo Grove, Illinois for about the past 4 years, and now I'm wearing a new hat. I'm actually working as a volunteer for our village, and I'm trying to gather resources for seniors over 65. And here are the 5 words: overlooked, without internet access. Think about that.
Yes.
There's a big percentage of seniors out there that can't get on Zoom. They don't have internet. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll move on to Linda.
Hi, I'm new and I'm sure you recognize my last name. So Joe's around the corner. He's in the blue bedroom. I'm in the den. I was hired by Care Plus, which is a care company as well. But I was hired to build their Flex program. And Flex is care that can run from 30 minutes to 4 hours or more. And it's geared towards senior communities, people who are not requiring medical care necessarily in a nursing home. And I'm new, so it's exciting to just sit here and listen to everyone. And I've enjoyed this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Laura Quigley.
Hi, I guess I was trying to show you my partner in crime. I don't know if you saw my cat walking all over.
No.
She just jumped down. So Laura Quigley, I am with Brito Associates of Compass, and we work with, mature population to help them with their next move. So our words, and this is interesting because we formed a team at the beginning of last year, and separately we had to sit down and come up with our business plan of who we want to be. And our words were almost exactly the same, Jan and I. So it's caring, ethical, experienced, problem solver, and respect. And our motto is we want our clients to be overjoyed, not overwhelmed by this process. So we take care of everything. So that's it. That's me. Thanks, Sabrina. Thanks for the invite.
Of course. Bruce?
Hi, I'm Bruce Dinson of Home Well Care Services. I agree with Patricia. Maybe we need a support group for in-home care. And we are a licensed home care agency providing really top-notch caregivers for in-home care. And at the end of the day, we like to provide peace of mind for both the client and for the extended family. And it's really nice to be here. Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to Gail.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Meryl again for bringing me on board with the group. It's been wonderful. Real quickly, I'm with a company called Market Pro Home Buyers, and we offer an alternative to selling your property. It works really well if you're a senior and have some sort of distress situation where you don't want to go through the process of working with a realtor and putting it on the market, fixing it up, and having showings and things like that. We'll take care of the entire process by buying the property as is and helping you through with packing and move out and final clean out of the property. And just would love to connect with everyone and let each of you know more about what we do and hear about what you do.
Sorry, my husband called. Okay, so Jennifer.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Carnegie. Thank you, Merle, for having me join this group this morning. I've been with Tribute for over 7 years. We are another home care agency. We've recently expanded to Montgomery County, so I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. One thing we do a little different is our RN that goes out and does the initial assessment, they do become the family's one point of contact, which is great for communication with the family, professionals that are still involved, and really, really helps us provide quality care. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. Thanks.
Thanks, Jennifer. Let's move on to Suzanne.
Hi, good morning. I'm Suzanne Coyle. I'm the Executive Director of Stroke Comeback Center, and we provide ongoing support for stroke survivors through communication and exercise classes, social events, and family support. So for all of you, particularly in home care that see stroke survivors that could use a little bit more engagement and activity, that's what we're here for. And most importantly, we have a generous scholarship program. As part of our mission is that no stroke survivors ever turned away for inability to pay. Our 5 words are support, community, recovery, hope, and fun. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's go on to Margie. You're muted. There we go.
Got it. Good morning. Margie Helsel-Arnold with Geriatric Care Counseling. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, care manager, working mostly in Montgomery County and Northwest DC. Surprisingly very busy in my home office during this whole pandemic time, helping with consults with providing guidance, support, home care, placement, even without even making home visits. It's kind of amazing. Although I just got my 2nd vaccine, so in a short time, I will start to visit clients after a year. My 5 words are care manager, consultations, support, networking, resources. And that's why I like being here. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Let's move on to Natalie.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I also work for a non-medical home care provider. So it's called Philia, and it's difficult to spell or say it out loud. Some people think it starts with an F, so that's how it's spelled. And we provide care to Washington, D.C., Montgomery County, Prince George's County, and also Anne Arundel County. And I see a lot of familiar faces, so hello to everyone. Thank you, Meryl, for inviting me. But yeah, so we have a really in-depth matching process. We actually have a personal consultation that takes place before our director of nursing herself goes out for a nurse's assessment. So we can not only plan for providing the best quality of care, but also the best person to be around for emotional and mental support, especially during COVID. We found that this has really helped us, set ourselves apart. We also have a specialty program for stroke. So Margie, I want to talk to you. And then we also have a specialty program that's currently running for dementia and Alzheimer's patients. Okay. But yeah, I hope everybody's staying warm and looking forward to the sunny days ahead.
Excellent. Thank you, Natalie. Let's move on to Jay.
Good morning. I'm Jay Horowitz, and I'm a lawyer based in Old Town Gaithersburg. I practice in the areas of estate planning, immigration, bankruptcy, and small business law. I'm licensed in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, and I don't charge for initial consultations. Thanks.
Welcome, Jay. Hope you'll continue to come back. Let's move on to Richard.
Hi, good morning. Rich Godfrey, CPA, obviously the basics, individual and business tax returns. And regarding seniors, before COVID, I used to do pickups and deliveries for seniors, except, right now, one of my clients called me, they're in Asbury and they're in lockdown mode. They can't actually, people can't go into Asbury Methodist Village. So it's very tough. So they have to go, mail their documents. But a lot of good tax breaks for seniors, tax-free required minimum distributions, charitable contributions, even if take a standard deduction. For the people who either have their businesses out there, if you charge sales tax, you get up to $3,000 tax-free on your sales tax in, let's see, February, March, April. So don't forget your $3,000. No tax on unemployment. In the senior area, as the seniors get older, what I found is, they need help, opening up their broker statements, their bank statements, and checking them. I have numerous clients where in that process, they've been, obviously seniors is a target for fraud. One of my clients' parents, these, people from the cancer not-for-profits would call them up. Oh, we're from this cancer not-for-profit or that. And they would just take $10, $20 every month, out of their checking accounts. And the senior would give them, their account number and routing number because they just, weren't with it. So there's a lot of fraud out there. So if you need services like, just basic writing checks, just opening up those broker statements and the bank statements, make sure there's no fraudulent transactions. That's really good. I provide that service as well. So watch out for that, for those seniors there.
Thank you, Rich. Let's move on to Jamie.
Hi, everyone. Jamie with Capital City Nurses. We've been providing peace of mind to seniors for private home care for over 45 years. Extensive service area, DC, Montgomery County, all the way to PG, Anne Arundel, Howard, and the Eastern Shore into Delaware. So I know most of you. It's really good to see you. Looking forward to connecting with those I don't know. My 5 words are quality, ease of use, and reputation.
Excellent. Thank you, Jamie.
Yep.
Let's move on to Pam.
Hey there. So I'm Pam Mills of Enriching Connections, and what I basically do is I'm a dementia care specialist. I can work with care managers, with home care companies, any assisted living, any service that helps people living with dementia. My goal is to help people live well with dementia. So when you think of me, think of like a dementia whisperer who can go in and help you problem solve with solutions. I can do consultation, training for staff, daily enrichment with people living with dementia, either in communities or in their home, cognitive stimulation, and I do training for credentialing as a certified dementia practitioner. So love SSA, love assisting hands, love everybody. Yay, us.
That's awesome. Mark, let's go on to Mark.
Me?
You, Mark.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. Everybody should know me by now. Hopefully, I'm Mark Ash with Right at Home. We are, in case you've never heard of one, a non-medical home care agency. In case you haven't heard the other 10 people so far, there are. So we're happy to be a partner with everybody here and whatever we can do to help raise up the community. We provide care as little as a couple of hours, 24-hour care, specialized programs such as neurocognitive and stroke, orthopedic, COPD, and diabetes care. And the 5 words simply: right care, right services, personalized. Again, Mark Ash with Right at Home.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. Let's move on to George.
Your health is your wealth. So that's the tip for the day. I'm George Faber, the health insurance networker. I'm actually from Carroll County originally and now in Baltimore, where my print is statewide. We do individual health coverage for those not getting benefits through a salary plan. So typically young adults, anyone self-employed, but for the purpose of this organization, I know many of you already, I'm working with a lot of CNAs and nursing personnel that aren't getting benefits through their hiring authority. My information is very easy to find. I'm on LinkedIn, have a website as well. And if I can lend a hand to anyone with a advisee or a placement, or perhaps an elderly client of yours that has a young adult or a younger relative needing health coverage for their own benefit, I'm very happy to help. 20 plus year volunteer career with seniors. Thanks, everybody.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's move on to Melissa. There she is, but she's muted.
I'm not muted anymore. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good to see a lot of you and great to meet many of you. My name is Melissa Koppel, and I am with Community Angels Nursing Services. We are located in Gaithersburg and serve Montgomery County, Prince George's County, Howard County, Baltimore County, and City. We are affordable home care, skilled and non-skilled. The process starts with me, and I definitely make it right for all of our residents. That's it.
Thank you, Melissa. Let's move on to Julie.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Sabrina, for
Welcome.
inviting me.
Glad you're here.
Oh, yes, I'm here. I did get on okay. It took me a little bit. Anyway, I work with Gail, who's already introduced herself. I'm with Market Pro Home Buyers. So it might be repetitive, but we do work with a lot of seniors and their families during the stressful time of downsizing or transitioning to a senior living facility. So we buy homes in as-is condition, so they don't have to worry about fixing up the property or doing anything. We will also help with moving and packing and cleaning up the property after it's vacant. So it's, we know it's a stressful time. We hope to take the home buying part out of it and not be stressful for the senior or their families who are dealing with this in this time of their life. So and also, during COVID, it's also nice to sell your home this way because you don't have people coming in and out of your house, especially, people viewing the house and contractors coming in and out fixing up. So, yeah, that's what Market Pro does. So we're happy to help with any home buying made easy and simple and hassle-free.
Thank you.
Great to meet you, Julie.
Oh, no, hi, Melissa. Nice to meet you as well.
Let's move on to Shivali.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is my first time here, so thank you everyone for inviting me. My name is Shivali Herbachti. I'm the director of Senior Planet Montgomery, and we are a nonprofit that uses technology to connect seniors in Montgomery County. Since COVID started, we've been offering 8 to 12 programs on Zoom for free. All you need to do is have an internet connection and a device to join. And we are really passionate about not just technology, but what technology can do to improve the quality of life for seniors, especially during these times. My 5 words are financial engagement, social engagement, and health, because these are 3 of the 5 impact areas that we concentrate our programs in. So my call to action, I guess, is that if anybody is interested in a 5 to 10 minute presentation about our programs, I'm happy to connect with you and do that. And I'd love to make our programs as accessible as possible to everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's move on to Georgette.
Good morning. I am Georgette Lake with Tribute at Black Hill in Germantown. We are assisted living and memory care. We are a resort style community. And I'm the new community outreach director. I've been there for 2 months and would love to network with everyone. Thanks, Melissa, for inviting me. I do have a couple of people in here that I've met with virtually. We do have opportunities if you would like to come see the community in person. So please reach out to me and let me know. We're also running a great special. So if you're interested in that, have any clients that you think might be interested in looking for assisted living and memory care, and Shivali, right? I would love to connect with you and see how we can maybe do some programs together. And I do outreach webinars each month. So if you're interested in working with me on something like that, please let me know. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's move on to, where's Erin? There she is.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I think I'm the 11th non-medical home care agency. And so we provide peace of mind to our clients and their families. I think we work really hard to have a personalized approach. I meet every client and every caregiver. And you know, right now, if you call, we're very responsive. If you call us Friday at 10, you know, I'll pick up. If you call me Sunday at 10 a.m., I'll pick up. So we're very responsive. You'll always get a real person when you call us.
Excellent, thank you. And then Meryl?
Well, I'm not a home care agency. Meryl Schaefer, TLC Daily Money Mentor. And the movement of money back and forth is just so important. And changing processes can be so difficult for a senior. I just want to tell you, one of my clients, the husband's 96, the wife is 92, and they wanted to change their the company that they buy water from. And I want to tell you, they had me get on the phone, and it was a torture process. It really was. And if they didn't have me, it would have never gotten done correctly. I am their voice to make sure that they get what they want. And CPAs love me because I do their tax organizers. I can almost do them in my sleep. I know it so well. I do have 5 words, and they are being aware of money movement. Meryl Schaefer, TLC Daily Money Mentor. And call me even if you have just a question to ask. I'm more than glad to respond to it.
Okay, so I'm saving the best for last, and that's me. I'm Sabrina with Mike's Locksmith and Security, and my 5 words are, I've written down. It is expert security services for everyone. So there you have it. So just a few things before we wrap up, and we really ran over time. So let's see.
Make sure everyone has.
I want to thank everyone. Huh?
But make sure everyone should, if you haven't already done so, put your contact information in the chat, please.
Yes. Okay. And then I want to thank everyone for attending. I wanted to know, we are call out for speakers. We need speakers for the next few months going forward. If you're interested in speaking to this group, please reach out to me or to Meryl or to Joe. Let us know what your topic is, and we'll get you on the calendar. And if you even have anyone that you'd like to suggest as a speaker, we're happy to take that suggestion as well. And we have a Facebook group for Senior Services Alliance. You can post events there or share information there. We welcome you to join that group. And going forward, we're going to be starting at 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 rather than 9 o'clock. So, and I think that's all I have.
And going to 9:45. So we're actually adding an extra 15 minutes onto the schedule.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very good.
And so since you guys all signed up, we now have your contact information, and just look for future events. Check, like, watch out for your inbox for future events, and we welcome you to join us. And if you have colleagues that don't know about us and would like to attend, please invite them too. We welcome everyone to attend. That's it. Anyone have anything else?
Thanks everyone for having me. It was fun.
John,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for having me. John.
You were very informative. Oh, and I guess the slides are going to be sent out to everybody.
I'm glad to do it. I can pull all the emails from the chat if you want, or if you want to send it out through the email list you have, just let me know and I'll send it to you first. Either way.
That's Sabrina's department.
Yeah, that's probably easier on you, right? I
If
can
I
just
send it to
grab
you-
the attendees list from Eventbrite.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll send you the stuff then, Sabrina.
Terrific.
That would be
Okay. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Everybody stay safe.
And we-
Okay.